If you're a freelancer on Upwork, that proposal you just spent an hour writing, an AI can now write it in 5 seconds. And your potential client just got 50 of them that look exactly the same. This isn't a drill. Upwork just rolled out its own AI proposal writer, and it's about to set loose a tidal wave of robotic, generic, soul-crushingly boring cover letters. Here's the one thing you need to do right now so you don't get buried by the bots. Okay, so Upwork's new AI is called Uma, and its main job is to help you draft compelling proposals, which is corporate speak for it writes a cover letter that sounds like it was assembled from the most boring parts of LinkedIn. The idea is to save you time, which is great. I love saving time. But the problem is, it saves everyone time in the exact same way, using the exact same words. This creates what I like to call the gray goo problem. Imagine a client posts a job for a graphic designer. 5 minutes later, their inbox is flooded with 100 proposals that all start with, "As an experienced graphic designer, I'm confident I possess the skills necessary to excel in this role." It's a sea of beige, a content wasteland, and your carefully crafted, personalized proposal is now just a needle in a haystack of spam. So of course I had to test it. I found a real job post for a YouTube scriptwriter, something I know a little bit about. The job asked for someone who could write in a witty, engaging, and slightly sarcastic tone. I fed the description to Uma, hit the big shiny generate button, and held my breath. What came back was, well, it was words, technically. Sarcastic it started with, "Dear hiring manager, I am writing to express my keen interest in the scriptwriter position." Keen interest. Nobody has said keen interest since 1954. It went on to list skills like strong command of the English language and ability to meet deadlines. It was the most generic, uninspired, and frankly, unwitty block of text I've ever seen. It completely missed the entire point of the job description. And this is the core of the problem. The AI isn't smart, it's a pattern-matching machine. It has scanned millions of successful proposals and identified the most common, average, middle-of-the-road language. It's designed to produce the most predictably okay proposal possible. But on a platform like Upwork, okay is the same as invisible. You don't get hired for being average, you get hired for standing out. Now here's the perspective shift that will save your freelance career. The real danger isn't Uma. The danger is the hundreds of other freelancers who will copy and paste that garbage without a second thought. They are your new competition, and they are doing you a massive favor. Because while they're busy flooding the market with robotic nonsense, you have a golden opportunity to look like a genius. Think about it. The average reply rate for proposals on Upwork has already been sinking. Some data shows it's dropped from around 4% in 2023 to just 2% today, partly because of the rise in low-effort applications. This new tool is about to pour gasoline on that fire. A client who used to read 20 proposals might now just skim the first 5. Your job is to make sure your first sentence makes them stop scrolling. Curious, so how do you beat the bots? You don't ignore them. You use them, but you use them as an intern, not as the CEO. Here, that's the 3-step workflow that actually works. First, you let the AI do the boring part. Go ahead, let Uma generate that first draft. Let it fill in the basic structure and pull out the key requirements from the job post. Think of it as a brainstorming partner who gets you from a blank page to a bad first draft in 10 seconds. Step 2 is where you actually earn your money. You have to aggressively personalize it. Delete the generic opening. Instead of "Dear hiring manager," try something that proves you actually read the job post. Reference a specific detail from their company's website. Ask an intelligent question about the project that shows you're already thinking about the solution. This is the human touch the AI simply cannot replicate. For example, instead of saying, "I have experience in social media marketing," you say, "I saw the campaign you ran last spring for the Sunshine product. The way you used user-generated content was brilliant. I actually used a similar strategy for a client in the beverage space, and we increased engagement by 200%. See the difference? One is a claim, the other is proof. The AI can only make claims. Serious, and step 3, for the love of all that is holy, proofread it. AI tools are notorious for making weird, confident mistakes. They'll hallucinate facts, use bizarre phrasing, or just get things plain wrong. Upwork's own policy says a human has to be in the loop for the final submission. They know these tools are unreliable. Sending a proposal with an obvious AI error is like showing up to a job interview with your shirt on backwards. It just screams, "I don't pay attention to details." So in plain English, let the robot build the car chassis, but you are still the one who needs to paint it, install the engine, and actually drive the thing. The freelancers who get this will thrive. In fact, Upwork's own research from last year showed that freelancers with AI-related skills were already earning 40% more than their peers. This isn't about knowing how to code an AI, it's about knowing how to work alongside one. Look, this isn't the end of freelancing, it's the end of lazy freelancing. For years, the barrier to entry was learning a skill. Now the barrier is learning how to communicate your value in a world saturated with AI noise. Your real job isn't just being a good writer or designer or developer anymore. Your real job is being a great marketer for yourself. The AI can't do that. It doesn't have your stories, your case studies, or your personality. Excited, this is your moat. This is the one thing that makes you unfireable. While everyone else is racing to the bottom with generic 5-second proposals, you can take 5 minutes to write 2 sentences that are so specific, so insightful, and so human that the client has no choice but to be intrigued. You're not just another applicant. You're a potential partner who's already solving their problem. So here's your homework. Don't just watch this and go back to the old way. Go into your Upwork profile right now and find your single best client review, the one that makes you feel proud. Your task is to figure out how to turn that review into a story you can tell in the first 2 sentences of your next proposal. That is something no bot on earth can generate. And in 2026, it's your single biggest advantage.